Guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to give you guys a 15-0 championship challenge guide. So it's been a little while since I've done something like this because normally the championship challenge seem to lose interest as the year goes on. But there's a big reason as to why you should be completing the championship challenge, as you see on your screen right here. So they've revamped rewards with Brawl Esports and the monthly qualifying process. So as you can see, every third win in the championship challenge, you can get a chaos drop. So that is 5 chaos drops that you can collect in the championship challenge, which is pretty nice. And if you compete in the monthly qualifiers, so after you win the championship challenge next weekend, you can compete against other people in your region, and you'll get the details once you complete the championship challenge. And then every single time you complete a round, you get a chaos drop. So it's very worth it, even just for getting better in Brawl Stars, for just having fun. You can potentially get to day 2 where you get a legendary drop and get even more chaos drops. So yeah, that's just a bunch of information. If you guys are struggling for a team for the championship challenge or just monthly qualifiers as well, make sure to join my Discord, discord.gg/spen, and just throw around like where you're from, like your region, give people your Brawl profile, and just make friends and try and compete in this. At least do the championship challenge, which I'll be giving you guys the best compositions for every single mode right here. So let's jump into it. So starting off with Bell's Rock Knockout as the first map, you'll see the best composition on your screen right here. So with Bell's Rock, it's pretty simple for knockout. I mean, it does go pretty quickly, so make sure you're not making any silly errors, right? You got to get locked in. Knockout is probably the hardest one for the championship challenge. So you got Leon with his lollipop drop, invisible gadget, whatever you guys want to call it. It's completely broken with the Buffy. You got Rico just to spray around shots. He's just crazy on this map, especially if they don't have a wall breaker. Then I just went with a Gus. You just probably need like a safe pick as the last one, so whether it's a Gus, Byron, something along those lines, Gray, etc. Jean. So with the goal with knockout is just make sure you're just pinching the opponents as much as possible. Try and force them back into the spawn. Don't overextend too much. Try and stay together as a team. And again, try and get that middle control before the gas closes in. That's always my best bet. But it's just all about not overextending too much and just, of course, being cautious, making sure that you stay alive rather than chasing kills consistently. Because if you just get that first kill, you're basically going to win. But it's round 1. You shouldn't have to think too much about it. There are going to be a lot of idiots in this matchmaker. It's going to be Heist Hot Potato. Here's the best composition on your screen right here. So the name of the game in Heist, which I always say, try not focus too much on defense. I think especially for set number 2, what people do wrong a lot of the time is they pick like an aggro brawler and they defend too much. Yeah, there's some brawlers that you've got to defend, but for the most part, if you're playing a tank, your goal is to just go forward. And if you're a defender, your goal mainly is to defend. It sounds very simple, but people don't do this enough in Heist. So pick just one defender. I would go here. I know the normal rule here in Heist, especially in ranked, is to go one defender, one attacker, and one kind of middle brawler. But I think you just got to go offensive pressure, because what people again don't understand is that sometimes they can just leave the job to defend into their teammate, but they end up just defending the whole game. So yeah, go double aggression, force the opponents to defend for the majority of the game, and Bull and Bieber the best on offense for sure, because with Bull you can use the heal gadget on the safe, use Berserker as well. Yeah, you literally heal from dealing damage to the safe. It's just a bizarre interaction. I don't know how that made it through the balancing. We've got Ems on defense, so Ems can scout the bushes. Make sure you use, well, it's up to you what gadget you use. Both gadgets are really strong, but I really like Acid Sprays. I think it's a very strong one. And just make sure you defend it with Ems, and then once you defended, you can push up and deal some good damage as well. But make sure you get in control of that middle area. And BB, again, is just all about running down the wing, just like Mo Salah. Make sure with BB and Boom that you're not just running down the middle. You want to use the map's width as much as possible. Spread it out the map. Make sure that you and your teammates are covering as much map and much pressure as possible, and you can overwhelm the opponents pretty easily. So some other great picks as well. You got Rico in the middle instead of Ems if you'd better on Rico, but Ems is much better solid defender than a Rico, but Rico is good fun as well. You got Crow, which is that in-between brawler. I mean, he can deal some good damage with his hypercharge. Carl as well, pretty good in-between brawler. Nita is a great brawler in terms of like literally exact replacement of Ems. You defend and then you can push forward with the Bruce Bear. There's a Spike as well for defense. There's a lot of great options here. Moving on to set number 3, we have Bounty Hideout. Here are your best picks on your screen right here. So I think it's a little bit weird, like, this composition when you think about it, right? Because you think, okay, it's bounty, it's hideout, you just go snipers, which you probably can and just be safe in going those. But I've got a really quirky comp here with Leon. Well, it's not really quirky, it's just using the best brawlers in the meta. You got Leon. Leon's really fantastic in bounty, and especially against snipers. The lollipop drop just gets so much value on this map, so just spam it as much as possible. Glober, you're going to be pairing with a Leon down the left lane. So Leon, yeah, you want to push up to that left wall as much as possible, because most of the time they don't have a wall breaker. Glober, he's going to be just following around the Leon as much as possible and just, you know, staying tethered to whoever he's pushing with. I mean, most of the time, again, it's really hard to push into a Glober and somebody down that left-hand lane, and he's just going to be able to get a lot of map control. Make sure you're using the dash gadget as well with Glober, keeping you and your teammate topped up with health. And then, I mean, it depends what you want to go. You can go a Crow, you can go a Sniper down the right. It's up to you. I went with Crow, mainly because it's going to be a lot of Leons, and Crow's actually really good in bounty. Make sure that you're using the gadget that refreshes the poison damage. I think it's the shield gadget. That's really good at just getting like a lot of damage, a lot of pressure on the map, and good once you jump in as well. So again, if you don't want to go Glober or Crow, there's some good alternatives. You can go Byron in the middle, which is fine, or you can go like a Jay Young in the middle. You can go a Pierce, you can go a Jean, something like that. If you're much better at bounty, there is some good cheesy strategies where you can go a Kaze to collect the blue star, or a Mortis. That's like the way that the pros do it, right? They get a blue star brawler like Kaze, Mortis, Jay Young, anything with a bit of speed to get that mid star. Even a Leon can be pretty good for blue star, and then they sit back with like 2 passive brawlers. And yeah, the name of the game of bounty, right? You have the lead, just let the opponents push into it a little bit. I mean, you don't have to go all the way back into spawn, but they have to go on the front for it. It's a lot easier to get kills when their opponents are pushing into you. So some other good picks as well. Nani down the right hand lane is one of my personal favorites. You know, you got the Gus, which is a safe brawler that you can always hit shots with. Mandy, if you're feeling extra zesty. But yeah, the best brawlers to carry randoms with as well can be Glober, Leon, and the Pierce. So now moving on to set number 4, we have Gem Grab Hard Rock Mine. So this is where things get a little bit sweatier, but not overall too sweaty if you stay locked in. So with Hard Rock Mine, I will say straight away, the meta what it is with the pros as well, is the gem carrier. You've got to make sure you've got a tank counter in there. It's very obvious right now with Gem Grab. So let's talk about gem carriers first and foremost. You can have a Crow. I mean, he doesn't completely counter tanks, but he can get away pretty easily with his jump. You know, he's got a slow gadget if needs be to keep him alive. He's just a really safe mid option right now. You've got Chester, who you can use as a lane or a mid. I think most pros actually use Chester as a mid right now, just because there's so much nonsense going on with Mortis, Lily, BBs, Balls. You need someone that's quite tanky and has a lot of burst damage, so Chester's probably the best there. Yeah, believe me, Chester is actually a good mid. Janet can be a good mid because although she doesn't have the damage, she's got a jump gadget and a super that can get away. So those are like the best mids. I mean, you got like a Pam as well. You got like a Charlie maybe. You got a Poco. That can be all right. So best lane brawlers. What I definitely recommend, you need absolutely one assassin. You need an assassin or a Bull or a BB. So yeah, Bull is the best brawler by far, I would say, in the game right now, and especially with, well, both gadgets are good. It's just his hypercharge buffy, which is insane. So Bull is the best option. If you're not good at Bull, you know, you've got Mortis, you've got Lily, you've got a BB, you've got Ali even, you've got all of these aggro brawlers that you can go, and then you pair it with either like a good damage dealer, or you can even go double assassin, double aggro, and just overwhelm the opponents with a Leon. You can go Rico, who's very good with vision gear here. You can go Spike, you go Ruffs, you go those type of brawlers. But again, the name of the game in Gem Grab, get the most gems. So I think going on aggressive is always the key. Give your gem carrier nothing to worry about. Go all out aggressive, and you should be good. Jumping into the 5th and final set, we have Pinhole Punch here, your best comp on your screen right here. So this is by far the best composition that you can use. It's pretty much like the top 5 brawlers in the game. So first and foremost, we've got a Crow in the middle. You can't really beat a Crow in the middle. I mean, it's like a Leon gadget that can be a pretty big nuisance. I mean, again, you can swap out Leon, well, Chester for a Leon or something like that if you want to, or a Bull if you're not good with Bull. But Crow's just good at scouting. His main attack is just so broken right now. Yeah, Crow's really hard to defeat. You've got Chester, so this is to deal with any aggressive brawlers. The name of the game with Chester is to try and farm up the hypercharge as quickly as possible. When you get your hypercharge, it's basically a goal guaranteed, or it's basically a team wipe still guaranteed, and you want to break up the map as much as possible. And then Bull, again, you're the goal scorer, you're the broken brawler, and there's nothing stopping your hypercharge. As long as you're being pretty accurate with it, you can chain it so consistently, there's nothing stopping it, really. I don't think there's really a single brawler that can absolutely deal with a Bull hypercharge, just because of how broken it is. So yeah, that's by far the best composition in Brawl Ball. You see it all the time. I mean, you could swap out a Chester for a BB. I mean, you guys probably have played a lot of Brawl Ball in this meta with prestiges. All you see right now is Crow, BB, Bull, Sirius, Chester, the same brawlers over and over again. But there's some alternative picks as well. You know, you got a Spike that can be pretty good against the tanks. You got a Rico that can be pretty annoying, but I don't really like Rico in comparison to just going full out aggro. You got Poco in the middle that can be pretty annoying. You got Ems with the Pierce gadget, again pretty strong. Leon with Lollipop drop can be pretty strong as well. But I wouldn't really stretch too far away from these top picks because they're just so broken, especially the Bull. But that is going to be it for today's video. I mean, there's not a lot of strategy on this map. I mean, just use the vision gear if you can with some brawlers other than tankier brawlers, and try and get the bush control as much as possible, and just go for wall breaks, try and score, try and overwhelm the opponents, and use your hypercharges to score. That's pretty much the name of the game in Brawl Ball. Abuse those hypercharges. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Nice and quick and snappy. I'll give you guys the best brawlers in the game. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.